morning, students. So today we are going to start a physics chapter, that is sound. Okay, so before starting the chapter, let us go through the introduction of the concept sound by a short video clip. Quickly go through it and come back.
Sound. Introduction. Sound is important to us. It helps us to communicate with one another. Without sound, we cannot talk to anyone. All the sounds are different, but we can recognize the voices of our friends even if they are not visible to us. How does this happen? What is sound? Sound is a kind of sensation received by our ears and perceived by our brain. It is a form of energy which makes us hear. Sound is produced by any vibrating material and felt by us only when these vibrations reach our ears. Sound travels in solids, liquids and gases, but not in vacuum.
Yes, so hope you are clear with the introduction part. It's just for your knowledge and the actual topic starts from here. Okay, so what is the sound? Sound is a form of energy which provides sensation through vibrating objects. So when does the sound is produced? When any object starts vibrating, then there will be a sensation provided in your ear. That will help you to listen the sound. Okay, so what is this vibration? So vibration is nothing but to and fro movement of an object. To and fro movement means an object which is moving front and back. Okay, that in scientifically we call it as to and fro. So to and fro means front and back. So front and back movement or to and fro movement of an object, that is producing vibration. Because of this vibration, sound is produced. Now, sound can travel through any medium. Okay, these are the properties. These two are the properties of sound. Wherein sound can travel through any medium means sound can travel through solid and sound can travel through liquid. Similarly, sound can travel through gaseous state also. But this cannot travel in vacuum. Sounds cannot travel in vacuum. Sound can only travel through solid, liquid and gaseous medium. Next we'll move on to the how sound is produced in humans. Okay, so how sound is produced in humans. Now we are communicating. Sound is a major thing, right? So humans require, why? Because to communicate ourselves we require sound. So now the major thing which is helping in producing sound, that is voice box. So where does this voice box is situated? Voice box is situated on the throat. Okay, where does voice box situate? Voice box is situated on the throat, and this voice box is a major thing to produce sound. Okay, and this two vocal cords are stretched around voice box. So this voice box is surrounded by a vocal cord. Okay, that is like a protective shield for that voice box, because it is a very delicate thing. This voice box is a very delicate thing, and if you continuously speak for a long time, then there will be a stress for your voice box. Okay, once the voice box gets damaged, then it requires a lot of year to recover. Okay, so that is a major thing. So voice box is a very delicate thing. So because of that, it is surrounded by the vocal cords, where vocal cord acts as a protective shield for this voice box. And what happens is, when you speak, your vocal cords will stretch. Okay, your vocal cords will stretch, and it allows the voice box to vibrate. This is how the sound is produced in your mouth. Okay, you're clear? See, voice box will be situated at the middle and vocal cords will be surrounded by the voice box. Okay, and once what happens, when you start speaking, your vocal cords stretches and voice box vibrates. So because of the vibration of voice box, it produces sound. So this is a sound produced in humans. Next, the very important topic, that is eardrum. Okay, now you are clear how sound is produced from the throat, right? Now whichever the sound producing substance, we need to hear the sound, right? So the substance or the thing which is very important in our body, that is eardrum. Okay, so eardrum will help to listen the sound. So when sound enters through your ear, it travels down a canal. Okay, wherein all these things, it will be not found exterior of your ear. These are all the interior parts. Okay, so don't go in front of mirror and just see where is your eardrum, where is your canal and all. And when sound enters through your ear, it travels down a canal. Okay, and at the end of it, there is a stretched membrane. There is a rubber like membrane that is called as eardrum. Clear? When sound enters through your ear, it travels down a canal. There will be a small canal like structure, and at the end of that canal you will find a rubber like membrane, that is a stretched membrane. That membrane is called as eardrum. Wherein this is very important question, students. What is eardrum? For that you have to write this answer. Next is, what is oscillatory motion? So oscillatory motion means vibrational motion of an object. So whichever the object which is going to vibrate. So have you seen, if your mobile is in a vibration mode, and if you keep that mobile upon your table, similarly it vibrates, and along with the vibration it shows some movement, right? So, because that particular movement is called as oscillatory motion. Okay, so a vibrational motion of an object is called as oscillatory motion. Next, one more very important topic, that is a frequency. Now the number of oscillations takes place per second. Per second, how many number of oscillations are taking place in that object, that is called as frequency, wherein the unit of a frequency is hertz, that is Hz. Hertz is represented as Hz. Very important question. What is frequency? That is number of oscillations per second. Okay, per second how many number of oscillation takes place, that is called as frequency. Go through the differences between audible sound and inaudible sound. Okay, so audible and inaudible are the two different types of sounds. So first let us see what is audible sound. So audible sound means the sounds of frequency travels through 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So there is a limitation here. Okay, so if the sound travels from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, then such type of sound is called as audible sound. Next, what is inaudible sound? The sounds of frequency which is less than 20 hertz. Okay, if the frequency of the sound is having less than 20 hertz, then such type of sound we call it as inaudible sound, wherein the difference is very important, difference between audible sound and inaudible sound. We'll move on to noise and music. Okay, this is also one of the important question. Difference between noise and music might be asked. Okay, so noise means what, students? Noise is an unpleasant sound. Okay, which you feel like a disturbance. Okay, that is a noise, means unpleasant, which is not pleasant to your ear. Okay, such type of sound we call noise. But what is music? Music is a pleasant sound. Okay, if once we hear, then our brain, our mind tells that to hear it again and again. So such type of sound is pleasant sound, where we does not get such type of feeling when the noise. Okay, so unpleasant sound is directly referred as a noise, and pleasant sound is called as music. So one example for noise, what you can give the example? You can take example of your own classroom, that all the students sitting together and speaking, or sitting together and shouting. That is a best example for noise, right, my students? Next, what is example for music? Any musical instrument like tabla, harmonium, guitar, flute, whatever, you can write your own. Okay, for example for music might be any musical instrument, and example for the noise is all students sitting together and shouting in the classroom. That is the best example for noise. Got the difference, right? So next we'll move on to noise pollution. So what is this noise pollution? We have heard air pollution, water pollution, all such things, right? This is one more thing, that is noise pollution. So wherein noise pollution means presence of excessive unwanted sound in the environment. So unwanted sound created in the environment, like automobiles, horns, right? So big lorry driver, a bus driver, express drivers, everybody has a very beautiful variety sounds, right? So all those creates what? Pollution in the environment. Such type of pollution we call it as noise pollution. Lastly, we shall see what are the harms, what are the problems caused by noise pollution. Okay, so the first one, say lack of sleep. Lack of sleep means what, students? Suppose think the neighbor, neighbor, they are having a function, they have a mehendi function at home, and they'll keep a DJ whole night. Whether do you get sleep in your home? No, right? We don't get sleep. So that is one problem, that is lack of sleep. Next one is high BP. Blood pressure will be raised very high. Okay, so all these problems that is caused by the noise pollution. If we listen excess of sound, what happens? One thing is we lack of sleep, there will be a lack of sleep, and the other one is we'll get a high blood pressure. So this is a harm of noise pollution. Now what are the measures to prevent noise pollution? There are two different measures. Okay, that is avoid program near the residential area. So any programs which has to be having a high sound produce, I mean high production of sound is required in such programs, then such program has to be avoided very closer to the residential area. What do you mean by residential area? Residential area means it is like a colony, like lot of houses are situated in one particular area. Okay, near such areas we should not do any programs, because there will be many houses, and if we do programs there, what happens? They will be getting disturbed, right? So we need to avoid program near the residential areas. That is a first measure to prevent noise pollution. Then the second measure is less usage of vehicle horns. So all the drivers has to minimize the horns, I mean usage of horns, then automatically the noise pollution in the environment will be reduced. Okay, so these are the harms of noise pollution as well as measures to prevent noise pollution. So there will be a question, students, like what is noise pollution, and explain the harms as well as some of the measures to prevent it. So it might be asked for 3 marks. By that time you have to write a whole thing. You have to write the definition of noise pollution, you have to write these 2 points, as well as you have to write the measures also. Okay, so very important topic, and here ends the chapter sound.